Hi, I'm Heather Miller. I chose the book The Mitten by Jan Brett. Um, so I went through and I did a couple of different things. I did literacy activities, but I did also extension activities that are cross-curricular. So I also did some math activities and some science and art that would connect back to the book. So to begin, the literacy skills that I focused on were retell, story sequencing, and predictions. Math skills, I focused on measuring and spatial awareness and size comparison. And for art and science, I did some things on discussion and building of animals, homes, and puppets, and then also a little bit of dramatic reenactment. So for literacy skills, when they're doing a retell, um, typically what I like to do with a book is I will read the same book all week long. So all 4 days that we go to school, but I'll do it in different ways. We might do a picture walk on the first day. We might do the predictions of, let's look at the cover. It's called The Mitten, and we see a mitten here, and there's all the animals. What do we think is going to happen in this story? And then we might kind of go through and look at some of the pictures. And, I don't really read the words, but I look at the pictures. And this one's really good for predicting because it's got the little pictures on each one of the pages that kind of show what's coming up next. So this one's a really good one for doing predictions. So that's how I would do maybe I would start off. And then once we get to the retell part, after I know that they've heard the story, they've participated in it, done the picture walk, I might have them do a retell. So this can be done with just the book and pictures, where I give them the book and they're going through it. I'm also watching for, some print concepts when they're doing that of where do they begin? Do they know that this is the front cover and this is the back? Do they know how to hold it upright instead of upside down? Are they flipping the pages front to back? Is there an understanding of this is a picture and then this is the text? So I'd be watching for those things as well. This can also be done by using story pieces like the ones that are pictured here. I feel like this is more engaging. They tend to be a little bit more interactive. We might actually do this as a group, and then I could put this out in our library area along with the book, and then they could use those to do the retell on their own independently, or I might do it with them. A couple of variations that I've done are story stones, so I've taken little stones and pasted pictures from each part of the story on there. Or if you want everyone to have their own way to retell, maybe take it home, you could do the paper bag version where you just glue the mitten onto a paper bag and then they have all the paper pieces and they can do the retell at home. Another literacy skill that I typically focus on with this book is sequencing and language development. So I might use a paper somewhat similar to this. I have preschoolers, so if I did do this where it shows the writing, I might just write what they're telling me. But I think a really important skill to practice for sequencing is using that vocabulary of first, next, then, and last. And it's not just a great literacy skill, but a really great math skill as well. A couple variations. You could do beginning, middle, and end. And then you could use pictures that are already printed out for them to put in order, or you could have them draw the pictures. Okay, so for math skills, I focused on measuring and size comparison. So this is a really fun activity where we cut out some mittens and we measured each child, how big their bodies were, how many mittens long. We created a graph in our classroom of, you know, Ariella was 10 mittens long, or depending on how big the mittens were, um, And then we just kind of did a size comparison. You can also do the size comparison with the animals using a Venn diagram, like I showed in the picture, where you could take the animals and their pictures are cut out, and you could compare them of, is this one bigger, is this one smaller, are they the same size, and just placing them within that Venn diagram. Another great extension to this book are art skills, so the puppets and reenactments. So having students decorate the little stick puppets, or even taking on roles and wearing the mask can be a great link to the book. Not only does this help build literacy and language skills, so they're getting, the retell and the comprehension of what the story is about, but they also work on fine motor when they're coloring or if they're cutting out the pictures. And they're also getting great social emotional interactions when they're interacting and doing the reenactment with their peers. And then lastly, I focused on science skills as an extension to this book. Exploring animal homes. You can get a lot of awesome vocabulary from this, talking about habitats, and some of the different names of the homes, dens and burrows, things like that, nests. Would definitely encourage teachers to use books that have real pictures of the animal homes that are depicted within the book, The Mitten, and then collecting materials that they can build with. I've placed them in my art center before, block area and art area, and then they can just build the animals' homes as a link to the book. And then we have shelves in our room that they could put on display. So those are some of the extensions that I've used for the mitten. I hope that you got some great ideas and you enjoy. Thanks.